story begins on the edge of the Atlantic, a stretch of sand on Long Island known for quiet dunes, ocean breeze, and summer getaways. But beneath that calm surface lay one of America's darkest secrets. In December 2010, a police officer searching for a missing woman and his canine partner moved along a desolate strip of Ocean Parkway. The air was cold, visibility low. The dog suddenly alerted something buried in the sand. That discovery would expose a killing ground. Over the next months, investigators would uncover a series of bodies, women, mostly young, all lost to the same shadowed pattern. Before we continue, viewer discretion is advised. The following story contains discussion of real crimes, victims, and ongoing investigations. Sensitive audiences should proceed with care. It all began with the disappearance of Shannan Gilbert, a 24-year-old online escort from New Jersey. On the night of May 1st, 2010, she had gone to meet a client in Oak Beach. Hours later, terrified and disoriented, she called 911, saying someone was after her. That call lasted 22 minutes. Then, silence. Police searched the marshland near Oak Beach for months. They didn't find Shannan, but they found something else. 4 sets of remains, wrapped and hidden within yards of each other along the same desolate highway. Detectives realized quickly this was no isolated crime. The careful placement, the similar victim profiles, everything pointed to a serial predator operating undetected for years. Forensic teams worked day and night, cataloging evidence, fiber, burlap, trace DNA. The public was gripped by horror as news spread of the Gilgo Four. Within weeks, more remains were discovered, expanding the count to 10, then 11. The dunes had become a graveyard. Despite massive attention, the investigation crawled. The killer seemed invisible. No surveillance, no witnesses, no fingerprints. Detectives sifted through phone records, cross-referenced burner numbers, even tracked cell tower pings along the parkway. The only clue was the geography. Every body within a few miles of the same coastal stretch, the same chilling method, the same indifference to human life. For years, the case went cold. Families waited, hoping technology would someday speak where witnesses could not. From 2011 to 2020, the Gilgo Beach case became one of America's most infamous unsolved serial murders. Online forums debated theories. Retired detectives revisited evidence.
Swipe up on the print
and
data.
Still,
there.
No answers.
Partial match, 92%.
But in
Adding the route
2022,
overlay. He moved through the
something
West
shifted.
District at 314.
A
Right
newly
before the
formed
alarm
task
trip.
force
We're getting closer.
reopened every file, combining old evidence with new digital tools. And what they found would change everything. The quiet dunes of Gilgo Beach were about to give up their secret. Years passed, seasons shifted over Gilgo Beach, but the memories of those found there never faded. 11 victims, countless questions, and a community waiting for justice. In early 2022, Suffolk County announced a new task force, a collaboration between state police, local detectives, and FBI specialists. They began digitizing decades of evidence, phone records, DNA samples, mapping data, thousands of fragments now re-examined through modern eyes. A pattern emerged. Every one of the Gilgo Four victims had last communicated with clients through disposable phones, burner numbers bouncing between cell towers near Massapequa Park and Midtown Manhattan. Investigators traced those signal points and discovered an anomaly. Several burner phones used to contact the victims had also been used, briefly, in the same radius as a single personal cell phone. It belonged to a man named Rex Heuermann. Heuermann, an architect from Massapequa Park, lived only 20 minutes from the burial sites. Married with 2 children and working in New York City, he seemed unremarkable, quiet, meticulous, even dull to those who knew him. Yet the data didn't lie. Over months, undercover teams followed Heuermann's routines. They watched him commute. They monitored his digital activity, and eventually they obtained his DNA from discarded items. A pizza box left in a Manhattan trash bin. That sample was compared to DNA traces recovered from the Gilgo Beach victims' evidence. It matched. July 13, 2023. Massapequa Park. After 13 years of uncertainty, police moved in. Rex Heuermann was taken into custody outside his home. Inside, investigators found dozens of electronic devices, firearms, and evidence linking him to multiple victims. The charges came swiftly. 3 counts of murder, later a 4th. The Gilgo Four had a suspect. When his mugshot was released, America gasped. The face of an ordinary suburban father. Not the monster imagined in headlines, but prosecutors outlined a chilling portrait. A man living 2 lives, compartmentalizing family and violence with surgical precision. He blended into his surroundings. He hunted while hiding in plain sight. For families of the victims, relief mixed with grief. Years of searching, waiting, pleading, now replaced by the heavy stillness of confirmation. A mother's voice on a local station trembled. We knew they'd never be forgotten. We just needed the world to remember them too. Vigils returned to Gilgo Beach. Candles dotted the sand. Reporters spoke in hushed tones, aware that the dunes, once silent, now echoed with the sound of accountability. Even as Rex Heuermann faces trial, investigators continue combing through evidence. Possible connections to other disappearances, other states, other lives lost along highways and coasts. The question lingers: was Gilgo Beach the end, or just one chapter of a larger darkness? After the arrest came a different kind of silence. The dunes no longer whispered mystery. They whispered disbelief. Who was Rex Heuermann, and how had he hidden in plain sight for more than a decade? By day, Rex Heuermann was an architect, a professional who designed office spaces for New York's corporate elite. He took the train from Long Island into Manhattan each morning, briefcase in hand, blending into the stream of commuters crossing Penn Station. Colleagues described him as meticulous, even exacting. He measured everything twice, corrected details no one else noticed. To his neighbors in Massapequa Park, he was the quiet man in the red house, a little withdrawn, but unremarkable. He kept to himself. You'd see him mowing the lawn, shoveling snow. Just normal. Yet investigators say behind that routine lived another identity, one drawn from the digital shadows. Burner phones, online personas, late-night searches that revealed interests far darker than his architectural blueprints. FBI analysts began assembling a psychological profile. They saw the precision of an engineer paired with the compartmentalization of someone practiced in secrecy. Every action measured, every step controlled. Heuermann's career had taught him how to structure, plan, conceal. He applied the same discipline, authorities believe, to his personal life. Notes, routes, contact logs, all hidden behind layers of ordinary behavior. To the outside world, he was a husband and father. To investigators, a man capable of meticulous cruelty. When detectives entered his home, they found what prosecutors later described as a vault of evidence. Computers, hard drives, firearms, and detailed maps of Long Island's coastline. Each item cataloged, each detail preserved for forensic analysis. Neighbors watched in silence as evidence technicians worked through the night. Television vans lined the street. A red light blinked from a satellite truck as the story spread nationwide. The suburban quiet of Massapequa Park has been shattered as police continue to search the home of suspected Gilgo Beach killer Rex Heuermann. In court, Heuermann appeared calm, speaking only in brief acknowledgments. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges. His defense argues the evidence is circumstantial and incomplete. Prosecutors insist the digital and DNA links are overwhelming. Each hearing draws families of victims, journalists, and onlookers, all seeking a glimpse of the man whose alleged crimes haunted Long Island for 13 years. For the relatives of the Gilgo Four, every proceeding is a reminder of lives interrupted, but also of a long-awaited pursuit of justice. It is easy to focus on the accused, on the shock of the hidden predator among us. But this story was never about one man. It was about those who vanished and the families who refused to let them be forgotten. Each candle lit along the dunes, each name spoken aloud, turns the narrative back to where it belongs, to the women whose lives ended far too soon. As of now, the Gilgo Beach investigation remains active. Detectives are re-examining cold cases across the region, comparing DNA, and following new digital leads. The courts will determine Heuermann's guilt or innocence, but the search for truth continues beyond the headlines. Gilgo Beach has become a symbol of modern forensics, of persistence, and of a community's promise that no victim will fade into the tide. The Gilgo Beach murders remind us that even in the quietest places, the shadows can run deep. But truth has a way of finding its way to the surface. If this story moved you, or if you believe these victims deserve to be remembered, please take a moment to support the channel. It helps keep these stories alive and ensures every case, old or new, gets the attention it deserves. Like, share, subscribe, and join us again next time as we uncover another chapter of real human darkness and the search for justice that never ends, for the victims and for the truth.